Hi, I'm Joanna. Welcome to my channel. This is my 11th video. Today I'm going to review 4 books, 3 fiction, 1 nonfiction. Let's get started. The first book is 11 Numbers by Lee Childs. Lee Childs is a British author. He generally writes thrillers. He's also responsible for the Jack Reacher series, which my husband loves. I do too. And this one is a little bit out of his wheelhouse, but it's a very suspenseful novel. I feel like I'm cheating just a bit because it's such a short story. Okay, the main character is Nathan Tyler. He's a mathematician, and he gets called by the White House to participate in a very tight security intelligence. They want him to go to Russia, to the Kremlin, and they want him to meet another mathematician and retrieve 11 numbers. Now, these 11 numbers are vital in disarming the Russian weaponry. And so things go wrong very quickly for Nathan. So this story actually creates suspicion for your average person, your average American. It shows how much power the government has over any individual. And it also shows how indispensable anyone is. If I say any more, I will just tell you the entire story. And so I loved it because it's so suspenseful. He's a great writer. I always appreciate him. And I give this a 4-star. By the way, on Netflix, there's a program, I think it's called Paradise. It is about, the same concept, mathematicians, how vital and important they are in the world. And there's only really a handful of that caliber. And so check it out. Book number 2, The Kennedy Girl by Julia Bryan Thomas. She's a historical fiction writer, and in this novel, the setting is set in Paris in the 1960s for the most part. Main character is Mia. She's a 19-year-old girl from New York, and like everyone in that time, she admires Jacqueline Kennedy. So that's the flavor of the times and the style. So Mia is approached by a stranger. He offers her a position as a model in Paris, working for the Rousseau house. And eventually she takes it. But she finds herself in an espionage position. The book is very fast-paced. It's very suspenseful. If you like spy movies, you will like this one. I enjoyed it. I give this a 3.75 star. Okay, book number 3, Night Watch by Jane Ann Phillips. Jane Ann Phillips won the Pulitzer Prize for this novel in 2024, deservedly so. So the book is about surviving the Civil War and its after effects, the aftermath. The setting is in West Virginia, where the author is originally from, and it's about 9 years after the Civil War. Much of the book is written in the vernacular of the time settings. So it's very authentic. Main characters, Connolly, a 12-year-old girl, and her mother, Eliza. Then there's Deborah, and I think she's the grandmother of Connolly. There's also a mysterious man. He's called the Night Watch, but he comes in at the asylum. He works there. So all have suffered immensely, from the Civil War. Eliza is pregnant with Connolly when her husband goes to war and he never returns. I don't think that's a spoiler. So a man named Papa enters, rather cruelly and violently into Connolly and Eliza's home. And after, such abuse, Eliza goes mute and she won't talk. So the brunt of all the responsibilities fall on this young 12-year-old girl, Connolly. Eventually, Connolly and Eliza end up um, at the Allegheny Lunatic Asylum, I think. It's in West Virginia. And there they find safety. Connolly pretends to be a maid for Eliza instead of her daughter. This allows her to work at the asylum, and Eliza is able to receive treatment. So this book is the reason people fall in love with reading. It reads like poetry. I felt the beauty in every sentence. I, felt the emotion of each character. I enjoyed this book from the beginning passage to the final word. I love this book. Love, love, love. 5 stars, hands down. Okay, book number 4, my nonfiction book, How to Share an Egg by Bonnie Record. So this novel, Bonnie Record, talks about her family dynamics. What makes this story unique is that her father is a survivor of the Holocaust. And she talks about her struggles knowing that her father is a survivor. And she struggles with her own psychological trauma because of her father's experience. Somehow she carries that psychological burden. And that just, exemplifies how heavy or how influential our parents are. Their influence just manifests itself throughout our whole lives. That's how it works. So eventually the author decides to write a book about this experience. I really like the way she incorporated food into the novel in every chapter. It played such an intricate part of their lives, of their culture. And I really enjoyed the ride with her as she took us on this journey. I enjoyed it. It kept my attention, it kept my interest. I give this book a 4 star. I'll be back next week with 4 more books.